Alright, so hey everybody, NovelistCrim here, and welcome to Writing Company and Motivation. What this is, it's an accountability stream where we get together, we do some writing, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's that's awesome. I'm hoping the day is going well for you, man. Like, how is everything? How's work? How's the fam? Any new games you're gonna be doing today? I've been doing a lot of V Rising recently. It's been pretty fun. For those of you who are kind of just tuning in here, we do these streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. usually. Today might be a little bit shorter than usual because I'm kind of feeling like I want to play some games with some buddies, and also I have to get to bed early anyways and get ready for a birthday celebration tomorrow. Not mine, my father's. Alrighty guys, so let me take a look at the time here. It is May 27th, 2022, and we're doing this at night on stream. Let's see. So just to talk about a little bit of the journal entry, and if you're interested in seeing or reading the journal entry, you can check it out on our Discord by hitting !Discord in chat. That's the best way to get access to it. Aside from that, let's talk a little bit about what we've been going through. Let's see, just to refresh my memory. So yeah, things are certainly going quite smoothly. Work has been quite simple. Not too many difficult challenges to confront at work. But I really do feel myself like kind of faltering a little bit when it comes to focus. It's tough because I really want to do creative things and I really want to do writing. And sometimes it's like when you're working, you know, any type of break you can get or any pause, like in workflow. Let's say, for example, you send out an email and you're waiting to hear back before you can continue. I always love taking that opportunity to just like, you know, whip out a piece of paper and just start like scribbling something down, or just like open up a text document and just like get something, you know, even if you have to mail it to yourself or maybe you use Google Docs, whatever. Which actually kind of dives into an interesting topic that we can talk about, which is kind of like setting aside time. Let's see here. Welcome, Crow. It's good to see you, man. So, let's dive a little bit into like setting aside time before we continue on with the rest of the journal entry. So, I've heard a lot of things from other writers where it seems like writers have like a lot of different types of challenges that they face, and that could be children, it could be time, but at the end of the day they all have the same common denominator, which is essentially setting aside time for writing. I think that it's if you want to be a writer, I think it's important to set aside some time. It would be more preferred to have like a dedicated time and a dedicated spot toward getting your work done. I've kind of set up a personal ritual here where when I sit down at this desk and it's 8 o'clock, doesn't matter what I'm doing, I must write or create something. 8 o'clock is like the magic hour. Between the hours of 8 and 10, I'm probably the most creative. I find myself like, you know, coming up with a lot of good stuff toward writing, or at least I trained myself to do that. I also try to set aside time, like every time I take a lunch, to work on whatever I was working on. Like if I was working on a previous chapter, like I wrote something up the night before, I like to sharpen it and come with a fresh mind to see if I can come up with a better solution or make things a little more streamlined, stuff like that. But I think that taking a solid hand in creating your workflow and creating your own process is probably one of the most important parts of like starting off as a newbie writer. I think the whole point of the first book is not only to like, you know, write a book, it's to discover what process works for you. It's to discover what your process is, and also to build the habits that you need to create a workflow, you know, whatever time they use, whatever scheduling and time that you set aside for yourself. How much writing is enough? I suppose that's up to you, really. I'd say that if you're new and starting off, perhaps don't try to like, shoot for the big numbers, because I think that the most important thing that you want to do is train yourself to like showing up. I think it's important to start small and start getting victories, and don't judge yourself on like how much words you get. So long as you like making progress, it's fine. My recommendation for starting off, probably somewhere around 250 to 300 words a day would be nice. If that is too stringent for you, you can certainly boil it down to 250 words per day, which adds up to like what? My math is bad right now because my head is floating. Hang on. Let's see here. So by the end of the week, if you got 250 times 7, so you'd be like at 1,750 words, right? Not bad. So you can probably stretch that out to like, yeah, so like you can set a goal for yourself like 1,750 by the end of the week, right? If doing it daily is too difficult for you. 250, by the way, for context, is about the size of a page. But if writing 250 words is like a little bit too stressful for you, then you can certainly stretch it out so you have a bigger goal toward the end of the week, and then you just kind of chip away at it. It shouldn't take that much time, especially if you're rough drafting. It should be like pretty quick. You'll find that once you start writing, you'll probably won't stop in terms of like having a lot of more words than you should, which is fine. Whatever it takes to get that that first draft done is probably the most important bit. Let's see. If we were to do some more math here, just to show you, like, one of my favorite things to do is like look at numbers, because like it helps me show that what we're trying to accomplish is possible, right? So if we were, let's say, to do 50,000 words, which is basically the equivalent of a novel, and we did that 250 a day, it would take you 200 days to finish what is the equivalent of a novel. Now, that being said, we know that the year is around 365, right? So it takes you a little less than a year. So we can divide this up into like what do you call it? 7 days. So it's gonna be 200 days. Let's see, divided by 4. Something like that. My brain's not working. Let's not divided by 7. Boom. So it's gonna be like 28 weeks. So in like 28 weeks, you can actually have like a novel done. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's kind of like, makes it feel like it's a lot more possible, So like, I'm not sure what like sort of situation folks are enduring when they're going about their writing, but I've heard a lot of people like who are really interested in writing, but they keep trying to put it off and put it off and put it off. And it's really sad to see. And it's true that you can certainly get momentum from having long stretches of time that is dedicated to writing. But if you can set aside at least like 15 minutes for yourself, or 30 minutes, it wouldn't be so bad. Like, you could accomplish a lot. And I know it sounds small, but I think you're underestimating the power of doing a little bit every day. Especially if like, people are agonizing over like, oh, well, I have kids and things are hard, and I get it, that sucks. And then they just like push away their, that dream farther and farther away. It's like, well, they set up like milestones for themselves, and they get to the point where they don't, execute on things. It's like, oh, well, I'll get to writing when this week is over, or I'll get to writing when my kid's in daycare, or I'll get to writing when my kid graduates, and it gets pushed farther and farther away, and that sucks. So if you had 24 hours to write, let's say 24 hours in the day, just putting this out there. So like, let's say you have a goal of 250 words in the day. You but divide that up by 24 hours, which is how long you have. So you would need to come up with, by the end of the day, about 11 words each hour. It takes you a whole hour to write just 11 words. That's all you need. 11 words toward your novel. It's very doable. It sounds so small, right? But like, if you do that, and by the end of the 200 days, you could have a novel. It's like, just something to consider. I know that it's like something like, when we're looking at what we want out of life, we kind of look at the big picture first, like the whole, like, I want to do a novel, and that's like a massive undertaking. But we forget that like a novel isn't built just simply by the idea of it, or like, trying to like do it all in one shot. It's literally done by the small victories that we accomplish every single day, just pounding in our craft and trying. So keeping that in mind, and keeping your goals a little bit more in scope of what's possible, could be a thing that would help you along. It is possible. You can certainly do it. And I figured I'd give you a little bit of math lesson on that one. Could help. Let's dive back into this journal entry though. The chapter 10 is going pretty good. Still working on it. Again, I think we're falling into this habit of doing like a 2-week chapter turnover. Not too bad. Again, I would like to cut it down to 1 week, but it seems like 2 weeks are pretty much the ample time that I require in order to get like a solid chapter down. I was when I was going into this chapter though, it's filled with complexity because number one, it's a fight scene, and fight scenes are always difficult in terms of like pacing and making sure that everything's like interesting, but you're also like managing a bunch of like characters and trying to keep the logic going. It's tricky. It's very tricky. Then you have the fact that like a chapter start is always a pain in the ass compared to like just diving into the middle of a chapter. So it's like great. And I think it's even doubly worse for me because like this is the chapter where like the magic system is kind of revealed a little bit, and you have the first big fight of 2 sorcerers going at it. And I think in that it gets pretty crazy. So having like such a tall order and some high expectations that I set for myself, I was going in with like a lot of like apprehensive energy, I would say. I was just like nervous as hell. And regardless of the fear, I still put myself down and try to do the work. And of course didn't come out good like in the first couple tries, but eventually you find something that you like and you start to fall in love with it. It's pretty good. I think that's another thing that we should do as writers, if I could make a suggestion, is to like try to remove the idea of like the idea of something being like negative or fearful. It will be, but you can probably play a game with yourself and say, oh no, this is not fear I feel, this is a challenge and I can do this. And you just do it regardless, and you try. You make an effort to do as best as you can. It doesn't matter how messy and horrible you do, just do it. And then you get tougher and tougher. I'm a strong believer that like in anything in life that we do, we level up, so to speak. So if you're spending time addressing challenges, if you're spending time working towards solving a novel and getting, doing what you can toward the success of your book, I feel like you're leveling up as a writer. But if you spend time avoiding the problem and coming up with excuses as to why you cannot do it, why you cannot write this, and then just coming up with reasons of criticisms of like why your work is bad, then you're going to level up as a critic, and you're going to level up as an excuse maker or somebody who's like avoids problems. and it's not good. It's not a habit that you want to get into, because it can rewire your brain, I think. So I think like there's like a little bit of a head game that comes with writing, and it's something that we all experience since we're all human, you know? We all experience fear and doubt and frustration, but there's seldom any moment in life that's truly sublime, you know, like so perfect that it would ever be one thing. It's a collection of things, and that's what kind of like makes life interesting in general. So I kind of solved most of the issues that I had with chapter 10's start, mostly because of we were doing like a lot of setup in the previous chapter. A lot of setup in the previous chapter, and it's trying to make sure that like whatever details or, you know, characters that have to move, any sort of moments where you know, if you needed to like, you know, show magic being used ahead of time and explain what it is ahead of time, do it. You know, you don't want to like explain things while you're in the middle of the fight. That's the worst. So like, you know, say for example, I had a protection spell that was being, you know, put on the characters, and I wanted to do it in chapter 10, but like I found that while their fight was going on, and then they just throw a protection spell, and then they just randomly shout like, oh, that's for protection, it really just breaks the immersion, because like who the hell does that, right? So if like, you know, you can set it up and go back in time a little bit, go to the previous chapter and be like, all right, so, you know, maybe they know that this bad guy's coming, and then they just, you know, give the protection spell ahead of time. That's like, all right, this is for protection, all right, get ready to fight. And then now you have like a more interesting, like, okay, so this is the promise, we're going to fight, this is what it's going to be about. And it gets a lot more interesting for the next chapter, because all you have to do is literally just concentrate on the fighting, the battle, being excited to go in. It'll be fun. Other than that, I have been struggling a little bit with the critiques. Not in the sense that like, you know, oh god, your writing's bad. It's more of along the lines of like, you know, the writing's pretty good. You know, flow is good, things are solid, ideas are great, fights are fun. The only minor thing that I keep consistently bumping into, and I'm trying to get better at it, is watching words that are being used too much after commas, like and, but, though, while, filler words that kind of slow the narrative down. It's a hassle because like I have kind of like my writing style is like heavily audio. Like I have to read my stuff out loud. It's the only way I can make sense of the, like, you know, the content. And sometimes I gear the writing off of the way I speak, which can be a little bit of a hassle, because like if I'm tripping over words and stuff, so, you know, and sometimes I can't say the words well, then I have to come up with filler words to get around, to like beat around the bush and then come back to the idea. Now, I think that I'm being a little bit harsh on myself, and I'll tell you why. Because I was trying to write a fight scene, and I was trying to figure out, okay, well, who do I know writes really great fight scenes, right? So I thought, like, you know, R.A. Salvatore. I love Drizzt. It's a fun, and there's a lot of fight scenes, and I have the book nearby. So I grabbed the book, I opened it up, and I checked to see like what a fight scene would look like on paper, written by, you know, a published author. Went in there, checked it out, did not like what I saw. Like, you know, but what that proved to me, because I listened to most of his books on you know, an audio format, like an Audible, but I checked the same scene that I've heard over the, you know, like the audiobook format, and I checked the same scene relative to like the actual page in hand, and I realized that it doesn't really matter like how you kind of like set something up, because like you know, when I read his stuff, for me it was very difficult to read. It was halting and it didn't make any sense. But when the reader did it in the audiobook, he just, you know, breezed by that no problem. So I think that like I think in the past couple of years, I've been really harsh on myself on like trying to make this like, you know, oh, you need the right amount of commas, or oh, you need the right amount of like, you know, words and such. But I really don't think it kind of matters, honestly. To some degree, it does. To some degree, you know, it's tricky, and I've trained myself to like do it this way for a while, and it's like it's been a real pain in the ass. So I'm trying to like grow and adapt as a person to try to get better at making scenes that are a little bit more clear and even more punchy and like, you know, sleek, so that they read well, you know, they mean what they say, and there's a lot less kind of bullshitting. That'd be nice. So that's that's one thing that I kind of bumped into recently. Let's see what else we got. So, again, as I kind of wrote here, is there an exact science to the method of trying to clean up writing and such? I don't know. Like, I don't think so. At least not yet. There probably is, and I'm probably going to like start reading some of the other books on kind of like refresh my memory on like grammar and other things in order to see if like there's something that I could use to come up with some kind of structure that's a little stronger than sounding it out, and you know, like kind of test out the audio and see if it works. If I find something interesting, I'll report back to you. But yeah, that's gonna be my next homework for next time. Let's see here. Aside from that, I don't think I have any other writing topics I can share for today. But we do have a Memorial Day weekend, which is kind of nice. I don't know, for those of you who are having like fun and having the ability to like hang out on Mondays and such, that's gonna be great. I'm hoping that you guys are at least have some type of free time. It'll be good. But aside from that, guys, is there any like victories or things that you guys have done, things that you want to talk about, any questions, any topics that you want to like discuss in the realm of writing, preferably? And then we can you know, kind of discuss that, and if not, we can certainly move on. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. I think it's kind of like a chill night tonight. I'm down to like play some video games and just hang out for a while. So I think I'm gonna be cutting the stream a little bit short today, but we can kind of continue the fun by giving Imposter Cure some love. So I'm gonna go ahead and send some well, we're gonna send you guys over there. We're gonna be doing a raid. If you guys would like to send as many big brains as you can, we can certainly do that. But before that, I wanted to thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate the love and support. It's all sorts of fun being able to do this type of stuff and, you know, hang out with you guys. I love doing writing, and I love like being able to, you know, have some company and chat with you guys. So apologize if it wasn't what do you call it, the long chill writing jam that we usually do, but we can certainly have more opportunities for that in the future. So for those of you who are new here, again, my name is NovelistCrim. This is Writing Company and Motivation, a accountability stream where we show up and we do some writing and hang out and you know, enjoy each other's wondrous company. Aside from that, we usually host this stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, so you can look forward to catching us there. If you haven't, I recommend you leave a follow. That's a great way to get notified when we do this type of stuff. And you can also check out our Discord by hitting !Discord in chat, typing that out. When you type out !Discord, you get a link that'll lead you to our Discord channel. There you can find access to the journal entries that we write at the beginning of the streams, as well as all the archives that we have for the streams that we do. We have like a highlights that I usually do. I take time to review the information that we had conversations about for writing, highlight the important stuff, and then or some of the fun stuff, and then we shoot it off to YouTube. And we also make a copy of it there on Discord for you to enjoy. Aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. I appreciate all the fun that we're having. So let's go ahead and give Imposter Cure a raid. And let's celebrate the good times, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Take it easy. Have an awesome Memorial Day. And as always, stay passionate.